will be able to generate more revenues, okay, and reduce its costs, operational costs, Honorable Speaker, you are aware, since this money, it's fueled directly. But even still, it's using our pipeline, okay, which is a benefit to us. Previously, we would...
The pipeline world over is a highway.
Correct.
Yes.
And they're paying us. Previously, out of the 100% imported fuel or petroleum products, Uganda would... But now that 20%, it is importing directly, but still passing through our pipeline. How I wish the extended pipeline to Kampala and DRC could be owned by Kenya, Honorable Speaker, if it's possible. Because pipeline makes money in two ways. One, by the volume that goes through it. Two, by the distance that volume travels. Serious opportunities are competitive, even now it is posting fairly good profits.
Pipelines all over the world are not constructed with domestic resources. They're so lucrative that any lender will give you money. So it's up to you to go and organize.
Thank you. I think it's finished, basically. Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to look at
why
they are billing you incorrectly, Honorable Dawood and other. Okay, another consumers here.
Nominee, let me ask you a question or two. Kenya Power is a monopoly. In fact, the biggest monopoly in this country. And yet, we keep on seeing stories solvent or has serious financial difficulties. If you find favor and become the CS, what are you going to do to ensure that this monopoly that has a stranglehold over every sector of life in Kenya, that collects money from everybody upfront with prepaid meters, becomes profitable and pays a dividend to the treasury? Because it is a state company. Number two, and this follows what Rahim was saying, there is a lot of erratic billing by Kenya Power. Yours truly here has been a regular victim. They give you one bill, 1,000 in 1 month, the next month they give you 89,000. And it's the same consumption in the house. There is one time they gave me a bill, nominee, of 550,000 for a month. And they came and disconnected my power from the pole. And they're the only supplier, so you have to pay. What are you going to do about this? Then you had Mbalambala MP. A breakdown has taken 7 months without fixing. Will you consider, if you are confirmed, to sit with KPLC and give them strict timelines and schedules within which to respond to public needs? If there's a breakdown, it should not take more than a day, time allowing or not allowing 2 days, but 7 months is unacceptable. If you are confirmed, we are giving, and the government has done very well for the last over 10 years. Schools have been connected with power in many parts of the country. But if you go to these schools, if you turn up as an MP, the first thing you are told is, we have not paid us to pay. Would you consider having an arrangement where schools and public institutions are charged subsidized rates so that they do not pay commercial rates like industries, factories, and other households. So that in some schools you go, there is power connection, but the only thing it's used is teachers charging their phones, nothing else. They cannot afford to use it for anything else. So if you can consider that. Lastly, if you are confirmed electricity regulator in this country, you remember? At that time, when we carried out a study, there was in the Southern Africa countries called the Southern Power Pool, where Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho, Swazi were all interconnected. So if there was a shortage of power in Zambia, it automatically flows in from the connection in the pool and vice versa. Would you consider working with your counterparts in the region to create a power pool for the East African countries, including Ethiopia that now has enormous capacity after the Renaissance Dam, so that we can, in times of straits like droughts, it automatically flows into Kenya, there is metering, and we pay for it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will answer them. I agree with you. We have no option but join in the East Africa Power Pool. First, as a way of creating for our actors additional market, so that if we do what we are promising to do of increasing our installed capacity, then excess energy can find an outlet, Honorable Speaker. And in the converse, if we are short of energy for whatever reason, we can get energy from the neighboring countries within the pool easily into our national grid, Honorable Speaker. There are no two ways about it. The issue of possible subsidy for schools is a great idea in my view, Honorable Speaker, and it's an issue I may have to pursue and see to what extent it can be actualized. If and when we adopt it, it looks very revolutionary because the schools are actually suffering a great deal in terms of struggling to pay these bills. And the issue of erratic billing by KPLC, which was clearly indicated earlier on by Honorable Dawood. The issue of KPLC profitability, despite being a monopoly. Honorable Speaker, I said, based on what I've seen on the desk analysis, the KPLC would require nothing short of a business process reengineering. But then, if and when I get appointed eventually to have a sitting with the KPLC management and other players to dig deeply into the matter of KPLC, so that when eventually we prescribe solutions, the solutions that will have long-lasting impact for the benefit of the people of Kenya. Thank you.
I've sent a few questions. Some have been put to you and you have answered. Will you end KPLC monopoly? That I've just asked you. And corruption in the petroleum industry, what will you do about it? When you will revamp oil drilling in northern Kenya? I think another one says KPLC sacked 40 staff in Mombasa in 2020 on the appeal, and summarily dismissed it. Will you intervene if you are confirmed? Then other one, yes, Maya? The other one is what strategies to reduce or eliminate power outages and improve the reliability of electricity supply across the country? This you have answered. Can you outline specific measures to enhance the efficiency and capacity of the national grid? Also pose serious safety risks. What steps will you take to curb illegal power connections and ensure that all consumers are legally and safely connected to the electricity grid? How will you collaborate with law enforcement and other relevant agencies to address this issue comprehensively? I think you have also touched on that. And finally, from the committee.
The manner in which you have conducted this process up to now, and can only look forward to your favorable consideration when you retreat to do your report, Honorable Speaker.
I'm delighted that for a change, you can plead. Honourable members, we tend so that the staff can